thanks for joining us on our program today. It's your program, Her Voice, Her Strength, reaching you from NTA Channel 12 Uyo. My name is Dora Okobase, your anchor on the program. You know this is a sponsored program, and we need your sponsorship and participation on the program. You can call us on 0703-125-1348 to appear on the program and to discuss modalities of your sponsorship. Don't forget your jingle, your advert can be on the program to promote and to also give this program a boost. Thanks for joining us once again. All right, today we are here once again to talk on a very beautiful topic that will open you up to many things, to many questions, and in the course of our discussion you will learn one or two from it. I am not here alone to do it. I am here with a very revered, resourceful guest, and by the time we come back from this break, I will let you see her. Thank you so much once again for joining. Let's go on a short break, and when we return, I'll let you see our guests on the show.
Imagine a world where every woman's voice is heard, every story is told, and she is empowered. Think of a world where women rise above challenges, shattered glass ceilings, and inspire generations. Welcome to Her Voice, Her Strength, where we celebrate the unbreakable spirits of women. Join us as we share stories of resilience, courage, and triumph. Hear from women who are changing the world, one voice at a time. Together we shall amplify conversations that shape our lives and empower each of us to being our best selves. Don't miss Her Voice, Her Strength on NTA Channel 12 Uyo, on Facebook and on YouTube every Saturday by 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Join the movement. Amplify her voice.
All right, welcome back on the program Her Voice, Her Strength, reaching you live from NTA Channel 12 Uyo. You can watch this program on Facebook every Saturday by 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. You can as well follow me up on Facebook to watch the thrillers of this program. On Facebook, my ID there is Dora Ndem. You have Dora Ndem TV also on Facebook, so you can follow both pages and you can be kept abreast of everything that goes on the program and everything that surrounds and borders about women, family, and a healthy living. Thank you so much once again. All right, I am here with a very resourceful human. She's a retired school principal, a very wonderful consultant of family life living. She enjoys things about women and the family. She enjoys things about God. She's a gospel artist and every all-in-one woman, if you would allow me to say that. She's no other than Comrade Abigail Akpan. She's here this evening to make justice to a very beautiful topic that we shall be discussing about. You're welcome, Comrade, my lady. I call you my lady. How do you do?
I'm doing well. I'm doing fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So how has it been? How has it been?
It's been wonderful. It's been great. We just have to, enjoy the faithfulness of the Lord. Because if you want to see the tempo of things around us, it may even weaken us. But when you look up to God, discover that you draw all your strength from Him. Yes, directly.
All right.
So that's exactly what you're doing in our days now. God will help us through.
Amen. Thank you so much, Comrade Abigail Akpan. It's a pleasure to have you on the program. All right. Today we shall be talking on children as breadwinners in the family, the dangers of allowing your children to be breadwinners in your families. Now, you look at situations in a family where the mother, the father are there, and maybe because of their financial incapacitation, or they don't have the capacity, they don't have the abilities financially to drive the force of their home, to drive affairs in their home, and then they single out a child in the family, might be a boy, might be a girl, and then expose the child early enough to challenges of the world, or because the world is full of challenges, and then the child goes out very early and very tender, very early in life, to go fetch food for the family, to go fetch opportunities for the family. He or she becomes the sacrifice that the family must make to liberate the family's financial needs. How do you see this? And that's the reason you were sitting down here today to talk on it. Comrade Abigail Akpan, I had to bring you to the studio this evening because I know you have a passion for children, you have a passion for parents, you have a passion for family, you have a passion for marriages to work. And all these things, if bringing it on the table does not solve it, then where else are we going to solve our problem? And that's why you're here, to make justice to this topic. How do you see a situation where where young people become breadwinners of the family? What does it mean? And how does it appear to you? How do you find it? You find it appealing? And why? If it's not appealing, why do you see it appalling in the other way around?
Thank you so much. This is a topic that we need to, address now, because what we see in our society ought not to be like that. That was not how we were raised. When we grew up, we were always looking up to our parents for everything. You need books, you need clothes, you need medication, your parents will provide. But as we see what we see in our society, where the father will tell, the mother will tell the girl, have you seen that other person? She's bringing food to their family. And then they start comparing her to maybe a wayward girl, or a girl that the family has misplaced priority, and then push her out to go and look for money. It ought not to be like that. Anytime a parent, relinquish their responsibility and decide to put in a child in the place of the breadwinner, it means they have failed in their duty as parents. They have actually failed. What we see is, the children that are supposed to be in school, that is the time that a child will be standing outside, maybe on that traffic light, looking for money, begging for money, or selling what a child should not sell at the time a child is supposed to be in school. That's at a very tender age. Some of those children, they expose them to even stealing. You see a child, because he's trying to raise money for the family in a wrong way, a child will go into pickpocketing. We have a whole lot of things happening because the parents are relinquishing their responsibility. They're putting it out to the child, and the child, will labor under that, doing the wrong thing and do what they ought not to do. So that's what we've noticed. That's one. Another way, you see a child, because the parents already made him know that he should be the one to take care of the family. A young man goes into this cyber crime, looking for a way to look for money the wrong way. Because most of the time, the one that they look for, the legal way of looking for money, maybe sell bread, sell pure water, it will not come very fast. Yes.
Or takes
time, and it will not be handy and may not be enough. And so they look for other options, because the parents already pushed them into it. So we are here to talk that the parents will hear, the ones that are doing that, they should hear that these things ought not to be. I don't know if their parents did that to them, but even if your parents have done that to you, you are not supposed to do to your child. You're talking of child labor. It's all right. It's just wrong. It's wrong in every sense of it. Like when you send out a teenager to go and sell. Like there was a day I went, we had a program, and then I had to put fuel. I went to put fuel. That filling station was there till 9 o'clock. And I went to fuel my car. And I saw a girl with banana on her head, and a young man was standing there, doing what he shouldn't do with the child. So I said, look at what, is it poverty that has exposed this child to this? Because if this child would have been in the house, this man will not have access to her. So all those things are not helping our young girls at all. You tell a child to go and sell gari, sell fufu, whatever, and a young man will tell her, bring the thing to my room, go and sell for me in the room. And she will,
because she wants to sell,
or she wants to sell, she will go in there, and before she comes out of that place, something bad has happened to her. So we are here to talk. So some parents that are doing this can listen to us and have a rethink. Well, I want to believe it's the economy of the nation that has actually done this. But then you don't expose a child to that kind of a thing and think that there won't be a repercussion or side effect. That's exactly what I've seen.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Abigail Lapandas. A very beautiful point of view, and the analogies you have given have also portrayed how some parents are not very, very careful and not very, very deliberate in handling issues that have to do with the welfare of their children and the welfare of their home. But in our society today, you hear people say, okay, am I going to be the one doing everything? Must the mother work and slave and kill herself in the process of working and making sure the family is in order? Or should the man be the one to kill himself because he wants to bring food? Yes, the children can be sent to sell things and then to hawk or to do one or two businesses. But have you also noticed that most of these children who do these things, not all of them, most of them, in the course of maybe hawking, in the course of maybe trying to do these side businesses to help the family's finances, they get hurt. They get terribly hurt.
So many of
Some of them grow up with very bitter experiences and they become deviant. When they would grow up, they become very stiff, they become unloved, they cannot love. They become
arrogant and everything.
Arrogant, they hate, they don't love people because of what they have gone through on the streets or what they have been through because of early exposure to things that they were not supposed to be exposed to. So I want some parents to also look at the number of children you can have and be comfortable in taking care of before you now reproduce and reproduce and reproduce. Don't keep reproducing when the financial ability is not there, because when you do that, you're trying to enslave those children, and there's nothing you would do other than getting into crime or also pushing your children into crime, and that's bad. So please, we can do better. All right, Comrade Abigail, I'd like to ask you this. Sometimes this thing does not only affect our female children, also affect our male children. Some male children, when they are forced into the streets, or when some of these children actually is not the parents will not like say, okay, go and start selling. They see the suffering in the family, they see the hunger, they also experience the hunger, and they would love to do something to help. The intention is to help to cushion the effect of maybe poverty at home and the shortages at home. They want to fill in, they want to make sure that let me help my mother. But in the course of it, because this child is a child, the child can be easily convinced into doing something that he or she wouldn't want to, and then it becomes another problem. So in the course of you trying to solve a problem of poverty at home, you have already added a bigger problem to it. So Abigail, when it comes to do with women or our girls getting involved, being a breadwinner at tender ages, what are the dangers for a baby girl, for a child, for a girl, for a princess who would have been in the father's house enjoying milk and honey and everything and noodles and all of that, but because of situations the girl is already winning bread for the family. The girl is already the one acting boss in the family. The parents are now taking orders from the child because she, as a breadwinner, she calls the shots.
She will be the one to call the shots. She will be the one that will direct everything, and whatever she does, they will see us. They won't have it. In fact, they won't be able to correct the child. That's it. When the Bible says that we are to train our child to raise them, the training is you raise them, you provide, you correct. That's what the Bible meant there when it said train up your child in the way it's supposed to go. And then if you are the cause of the training, time you're supposed to train the child, you expose the child to what you should have done, actually there's going to be danger. A child will take a wrong decision. A child will go into take a wrong decision and go the wrong way and involve in things that are not godly, things that are not good, advices and all the things. Yes, we've seen it so much. You know, there was a time I saw a woman. She was at Ghana, and then she came back, and that was at Calabar. This woman came back, and she rented a place. She had 2 big girls, and then through this girl, she was able to get other girls. What she does, the mother will sit down one place and collect money, and the man will come and carry her children too with other children. And to her, she was making money. Those ones were feeding the house. But that was the wrong way. You know, at the end of the day, after, you know, by the cause of this, one girl was badly hurt and she died during this course. It is the same thing we're seeing in our society, because the children are going out to source for money, and we keep hearing horrible things that our children are killed through rituals and all those things. A child will be taken to the hotel, and you know, the next thing we hear horrible story that this one has happened, that one has happened, because they're actually going to look for money. Some of these children are actually being exposed by their parents. A child will bring very expensive things to you, wear expensive things, and you feel good. My child is happening. My child is rich. My child has been able to acquire this. And you tell people, but you don't tell anybody how that child got that thing. So what we are seeing now, we're actually talking to parents, we're talking to mothers, that they should refrain from pushing these children. Girls, boys, it's the same thing. The boys are going to maybe Yahoo, maybe stealing, maybe full armed robbery, or whatever thing they can, you know, they can be involved, so they can get quick money. So that's what is happening in our society. The parents are not taking their responsibility. So many of them, I've actually seen a mother that was shouting at the girl. Hey, have you not seen another person there? She was shouting, I heard her. Why do I even give birth to you? How can I be suffering till now? You not go out as others are going out. What is this girl going to go out? She's supposed to be in SS1. She's supposed to finish her education. She's supposed to be in school. So is she going to go out and raise this money that you want her to raise? And you see, at that point, the girl will start thinking, what do I do? What do I do? So is something that the parents, those ones that are doing that, should refrain from. But then I saw a situation where a child helped. Okay, this woman she had 4 boys and 1 girl. 4 boys and 1 girl. She was a teacher. The father died, and I'm talking of this other side too. So once these children are back, she'll give this one break. Gary, all of them, they'll go out, and she timed them. By 4:30, everybody should get to the house. Whatever you sell, get back to the house. And once they are back, just arrange food and eat, and everybody will carry their books. The woman was a teacher. She knew the effect of education, the importance of education, and by reason of economy, she was able to supervise. And even at that, there are times, you know, the children will come telling her bad stories of their experiences. And then because already the children were actually briefed at home, they were able to, you know, jump over some of those temptations. That's A child is still providing. She was the children were helping
Winning
to
bread,
provide
yeah.
this for the family, but this one was the result of poverty and lack in the house. So the small money was not enough for the mother.
Okay, you are trying to make a point here that parents whose children hawk on the streets can actually supervise
Yes,
those
this
children.
one was the case that I saw. I don't know. I didn't see many of such. I only saw that one. She was able to do that, and I want to tell you, one is a medical doctor, the other one is a lawyer, the other one, the girl is a nurse, and the other one, all of them they are doing well. One is an engineer. They are all doing well now because the mother was able to supervise and watch what they were doing. That one is a typical case because there was supervision and maybe with prayers and telling them the way of the Lord, drawing them through closer to God, they were able to achieve that. But on the whole, for a child to be the one to be the breadwinner, child labor is wrong. It's completely wrong. It's not good for our society. It ought not to be. Let's just believe that what we are saying, one or two persons have been doing that will listen to us and have everything. Go and, okay, like you said, we should have the number of children we want to cater for. It's not just having 26, 8 children, 19. You're married 2 wives and having 18 children. And you don't have any reasonable thing to do. These children are there. This one will go out. He was trying to learn trade and could not and join some other thing. You just see them.
Everything is just zigzag.
Drinking, everything is just like
Zigzag at home.
that in the house. So, child labor is not the best. Please. And like we are just seeing recently in social media, we don't know how that family got to that point, however, whatever. But the outcome is not pleasing. Everybody is blaming the mother. Shouldn't have allowed, because any time a child does something well, the father will say, that's my child. And when a child does bad thing,
It's the mother that owns the child.
And naturally, that's all supposed to be. Because when I was young, the training was actually done by my mother. My father hardly beats you. When he looks at you, just arrange yourself. When he looks at you, whatever you arrange yourself and behave well. But all the beating was done and all the counseling was done by our mother that was always there with us. So if a child misbehaves, everybody will go back and say it was the mother. Now everybody said it was because of the love of money the mother pushed her into it. Whatever it was, we were not there with them. But right now the outcome is not pleasing. So child labor is not really the best. Child labor, most of the times it comes with, issues, problems, complications. So you're not going to sit down and say it's okay. But when that woman was able to supervise her own, though it was still child labor, but they will always come back. That was discipline. Wherever you are, whatever you sell, by 4:30 everybody should be in the house. You eat, and then by 5 they start their lessons. That was with strong supervision. You may not be able to do as that woman, but child labor is not encouraging. It's exposing those children to what they should not do. A child came to school by reason of peer group influence. They caught him with marijuana, they caught him with a draw, let me say so. And by the time we were able to ask questions as teachers, we were just asking them how we got to be. We discovered that they have a group. This group, they made themselves where they were saying they were trying to sell, they were selling at the junction or something. That's how they saw themselves, because most of them were not in the school. They saw themselves there in that joint, and that's how they collaborate, as they said, and they started the business. So please, let's parents be watch out. We want this society to be okay. We actually want this society to be better than what we see, but we equally need the parents to work harder and don't expose us young ones to what will be too much for them.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Abigail. so far for all the things you have said, and they are actually eye-opening. And at this point, let's take a short break, and when we return, this discussion continues. Please don't go away.
Imagine a world where every woman's voice is heard, every story is told, and she is empowered. Think of a world where women rise above challenges, shattered glass ceilings, and inspire generations. Welcome to Her Voice, Her Strength, where we celebrate the unbreakable spirits of women. Join us as we share stories of resilience, courage, and triumph. Hear from women who are changing the world, one voice at a time. Together we shall amplify conversations that shape our lives and empower each of us to being our best selves. Don't miss Her Voice, Her Strength on NTA Channel 12 Uyo, on Facebook and on YouTube every Saturday by 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Join the movement. Amplify her voice.
People that are hungry and equally lazy. Hungry and lazy. They don't want to use their hands to do things. And so they just have a beautiful girl, and to their mind, this girl should start producing money for them. And they just pick the child and they sacrifice the child's future and destiny like that. It's not only poor people. So who is to blame? In fact, we start from the society, the government. We start from there. Because if the government would do everything they should do at the proper time and everything that they should do in the society, things will normalize. I'm talking because if the society is okay, people are having their work, things are moving smoothly, it will help. And then the churches used to be a time that if you do something wrong, the church will call you to order. If your child does something wrong, the church will call the parents to order. And at that point, if somebody wants to expose a child to wrong, and maybe if somebody hears it, my pastor hears, I'll be in trouble. And then that was able to curtail some of those things. Again, the parents too, they really have, especially the mothers. I think when I talk about child rearing, I always know it should be the mother that will take the larger chunk of the attention you should give to the child, because she's always with the child. She knows everything about this child. She knows the development strides of the child, and it is her responsibility to see how the child grows. The father will not always be there, except in a situation where the mother is late or something. The demise of the mother, and then the father will take up the responsibility. But in a normal situation, the mother should always check what the child is doing. Check her peer group, her friends, the person she relates with. Check out what she's doing. Once in a while, sit your child down and talk to her. And then let the child know, if you have a fear of God, lead this child in the way of the Lord. Let the child too know this is bad, this is wrong, this is good from you. In that way, it's going to help. And again, this laziness of you saying, my child has just grown, I can sacrifice, I can tell her to do it, is wrong. So who is to blame? The mothers, the father, the mothers. And again, in those days, by reason of how complicated the society is now, in those days, if I do something wrong, somebody will tell me, will correct me on the road immediately. Tell me what you're doing is wrong. And if my mother hears about it, she will say, hey, she will know. Is there a situation where you tell a child, why should you do that? And the mother will come and say, which child? You should go and check what your child, check what your child is doing. Leave my child. I saw something on Facebook the other day. A child was walking almost half naked. And people will say, how could this child wear this? And I must say, go and tell your child. The response of the mother, if you have this kind of beautiful child, go and when you hear that, it is the place of the parents to groom the child, to direct the child well, to nurture the child and guide the child in whatever the child is doing. That way, we're going to have a sweeter and harmonize society more than what we see now. We do have to say, okay, because people are not hearing us or things are happening like this, we should keep quiet. No, we still have to talk. Let's just talk. We know that out of whatever number will hear us, somebody will go back and say, maybe I didn't do it wrong, and start thinking of a way of correcting it.
Okay, thank you so much, Comrade Abigail Akpan, and that's so insightful. And at this point, let's talk about the roles of the father in this situation. Sometimes they say some fathers are absent in their children's lives and in their homes, and then that gives rise to, or that gives birth to a situation where a child now becomes the breadwinner, and maybe the father has even left the mother for another woman, and then the mother now is slaving. Then out of pity, the child takes it upon herself, okay, let me follow this uncle and stay with her. And the child starts donating sex to an older person to earn money to take care of her mother. So do you see that men also are contributive factor to this menace in our society? The role of some men.
The role of the father. Yes, as you all know, the father is the head of the family, and until the head is doing the right thing, the other part of the body may not function well. That's exactly what we actually said down. That's what we see, because I have noticed that in so many, like percentage, the father will deliberately leave the children for the mother to raise, because he thinks raising these children is going to be overwhelming, and so he just trickishly left the child for the mother alone to raise. And at that point, that child does not have the influence of a father. And when a child does not have influence of a father, she's not growing well. The children are not, he or she is not growing well. So I can remember way back as an administrator of a school, most of the cases that were always coming was from, separated homes where the mother is there alone, the father is somewhere, and the father, like a case, a mother came and said, that a child, the father left the child alone, a girl of 13, but it was this child that grew like that. Like if you see her, you think she's 16. Left the child, and he was at the joint till 3 a.m. And we got to know that the child, because the mother had left, the child was there alone. The child left to go and stay with the father, while she was alone somewhere with the other children. So he said, when the child went to visit the father left her there. So I told her, how can you say that kind of a thing for somebody to hear? For me to even hear it, I'm wondering why you say it. How can you leave this kind of child to go and stay with the father? And then the father, you say, is always drunk, will come back from the joint by 3 a.m. Don't you even think of this child that by the time the father comes back with all the things, the alcohol inside of the eyes, that this child is endangered, that the father can even do anything to this child? Don't you think like that it was very wrong for her to keep the child with the father like that? That's about the broken home. I was hearing so many things that happened at that time, all about father leaving their responsibility
to only the woman. And this woman would be trying to see how she can cope, and will expose this child to, at times, hawking and all those things and every other thing that will involve. And at the end of the day, the child is, a child's destiny is on the line. And the funny part of this thing is, when the mother must have finished grooming this child to a time and say, okay, it's time for eating. Somebody has come to ask this child hand in marriage. The father that was not there will emerge suddenly.
The absentee father will just appear from somewhere and give up long list of a child that he did not raise. I have seen that too much, and It's always making me very angry. Every time I see a man that was not there when a child was being raised, coming to sit, taking the seat of the father at the ceremony of the child. When I look at the man's face, I'll be wondering what is in his mind now that he's sitting down here, enjoying what the mother, sacrificed, suffered alone. So the role of a father, I can remember as a child, once my father comes back, like I said, everything we say, just know yourself. Because of his influence alone, just seeing him, you behave well. At times you will not even need to beat you, but that his influence is there for you to control you, whatever you do. But when you leave it to a mother alone, it's not always the best. So the fathers, the absentee fathers, we're going to plead with you again. Please be watchful over your child. If you had issues with your wife, if there was issue with your wife and you take a walk, like I said the other day, please always try to make arrangement for your child in everything, including asking things about the child, not just giving out money. Know about the welfare of this child, the health and everything, even the societal, learning, everything. Let the child know that you are involved too in raising the child. That's what a parent, father should do. You brought this child to the world, so don't go and stand afar and be watching how the child grows, waiting if money will come out. I heard of a story of a man that came out and looked for his son. As at the time he came looking for this son was married and had 2 big children, fine children. And then you came out and said, I'm your father, I'm your father. This person, you were not there right from when the mother was grooming this child, raising this child, sponsoring the child through school and everything. You were not there. All of a sudden, because you feel that there should be somebody to bury you, yes, and then you come looking for him. By this time, this child was well established. So the son asked him, this one that you're coming, what is it for? At this point, I am a father, so I don't need a father again. So for what are you coming? So at this point, he realized that he came at the wrong time, and the child in quote told him he should not bother about that paternity, does not need it. When I heard it, I was like, if all cases would have been like that, it would be very interesting. Maybe that will make others to sit up. So a father should be there. Let the father join hand and take care of the child, raise the child, so that tomorrow we have a better society, and he too will feel fulfilled that it was part of the child's growth life. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. And I want also to add to what my lady is saying in the studio. You see, sometimes when couple have issues, or when couple have chaos or crisis in their marriage or in their union, among them, instead of sitting down and looking at issues critically, and also in a case where children were involved or are involved, you seek peace not because of you, but because of the children. Some people tend to just abandon the issue. They abandon their wives or their husbands. They abandon the children that were involved or that are involved in that marriage and walk away. And the whole stress and the whole load and the whole stigma is on the children.
Yes.
It's on that child. And the children grow up being bitter. They grow up being unloved. They grow up being so problematic and troublesome because everything around them is just too difficult. And then these children did not come alone. They came out of people. So where are those people? Where is the mom? Where is the dad? You have an issue. Whatever issue you have does not involve the children. The children did not cause the issue. So you people join hands and see how the children will grow. so that things will take a good turn in the family, so that the children will not become breadwinners of themselves and for the family. Don't forget, we've been talking on children as breadwinners, and we are here to condemn that for your child to be a breadwinner in the family is wrong.
And equally, we talked of early marriage that is affecting our girl, our children, is affecting them seriously. And we've just said something. We've just said something about, a father that is not there, or marriage, if it is too much when you part, try to amend the marriage. But then we have seen in our society now that there are times that the marriage need to part ways. The partners, they need to part ways because every time everybody now is talking of domestic violence. If it involves domestic violence that that may likely
lead to loss of life.
You part ways. You actually need to part ways. And when you part ways, and there were children, please sit down and make provision for those children, and still be involved in their lives.
And that's the exact point I'm making. I say it's not bad for you to have issues with your spouse, or maybe walk away in a situation where the marriage was life-threatening. Yes, you can run away, you can walk away, you can crawl away, anyhow you go away, and then the marriage is splitted, or people have gone, or the couple have gone separate ways. But in the case that children were involved, or children are involved, please, you have to look for a common ground. For you people to contributively see to it that the children have eaten, the children are going to school, the children are doing the ones that don't want to go to school, the ones that want to learn a trade, they are well and fully involved in one thing or the other, and not forsaking, not just leaving. Some people leave. Yes, comrade. Some people just leave, and they leave yours truly. They only reappear, just like she said, maybe at the point where a female child was involved, at the point where she wants to be given out in marriage. That's when the father will emerge, or that's when the child will now go and look for the mom and say, please come and sit down, and come and sit down as a mom, and say, that thing that your father did to me was so annoying, that thing everybody pleaded with him. All those things don't count, and it makes children grow with grudge. Children already have enemies at the point that they are supposed to relate freely with people, so they grow up with grudge, they grow up taking side. They support. Yes, comrade, sometimes when things like this happen in a situation where children are involved, some people will tend to support the wife, some will support the husband, or all of them will support the mom, and the father will suffer. So please, at this point when we are condemning in totality a child being the breadwinner of the family, please make out plans on how to run your family as a man and as a woman. All right, Comrade Abigail, at this point I want you to advise men, advise women, and advise children too, because I want to also believe if some children are well informed, they will know that they are not supposed to be any kind of sacrifice. I cannot be given as a sacrifice to free my family from poverty. You have to work. If you are my father, you brought me to the earth, you have to work to raise me. My mother works to raise me, my father works to raise me. So there's no issue and there's no shortcut of me becoming the sacrifice for the family to be liberated. Jesus Christ that we believe in this part of the world, this part of Nigeria, had already made the sacrifice on the cross. So there is no other sacrifice that counts. If you have children, be there to raise your children. Let's not even talk about only in the cases of maybe a death, or I don't know, death is the extreme, that you are no more there, and then maybe another person can step in and take care of your children, or the children will now be given to guardians and all of that, and maybe because of struggling in other hands they may face challenges. But as original biological parents of children, please make yourself useful in the lives of your parents. Then Abigail, please, your advice to this set of people as we round up the program.
Thank you so much. Dora, this is very interesting session we are having here, because this is what we face in the society, this is what we see day to day around us. So we're going to talk to the parents. Please, the father, the mother, it is your place to take care of your child. Even if you're sick and you cannot stand up and run around for the child, in a situation like that, we know God has a way of sorting out things like that. But a child labor is something we frown at this point. So the child should be taken care of in a normal situation. Again, the children too. I know some of those children, by reason of what do I put it? How do I put it? By reason of the fact that they want to measure up, some of them will want to go extra mile to do what they ought not to do. I'm actually talking of this early marriage too at this point, and the children will be exposed to. Some of the children don't want it. Some of the children actually stand out and say they want to go and marry that big man so that they go and be driving big cars. That's great, and at times, in most cases, does not land well. So children supposed to be taken care of, be directed, be nurtured by parents, and not being exposed, especially to our society, the kind of society we are living here in our side. Please let the children be taken care of. Again, we need to plead with our government that let things be on ground, that people will be able to fall back on jobs, opportunities, things like that, healthcare, so many things that will help. Because if somebody's health is not failing and a child will have to be pushed to go and look for money, it will not happen. Let all hands be on deck so that we'll not have misfit in our society, because all those things are misfit, where a child is pushed out to go and marry too early, or being exposed to being the breadwinner, and most of the time the breadwinner, the child goes to do illegal things, illegal jobs and involvement, that at the end of the day the problem will go back to the society. So when we talk like this, please, we're not talking because we don't have something doing. We're actually giving back to our society what has been deposited inside of us, that we share with you. And this sharing, please, let's do something about it. Because most of the problem we are hearing, if maybe somebody had heard what we are saying now, maybe we wouldn't have been involved. Or if a child had heard what we are talking, he wouldn't be involved. So please, we need a better society, and we actually pray that you listen to us. Our children are our future. They are our hope. That's what we're going to lay. They are our pillars for tomorrow. But if they are being mortgaged, do anyhow with them, sacrifice their destiny, and we're not going to get that great society in future. We don't know what child will be tomorrow until at that time. So whatever child you have now, the child does not look strong, does not look intelligent, does not look smart. Just nurture that child, because the future will tell. But when you expose a child to what we've been seeing, like what we see on social media, a young girl will go following money, and at the end of the day, you go and hear ritual is killing and all those things. We just pray that all these things will stop in our society, because it's not helping. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That has been the voice and the face of and the contribution of Comrade Abigail Akpan. She's a retired school administrator. She's still active in educational sector, family life, and she's still very, very active in disseminating information as a journalist in the field to help families and to help people. And that's why I brought her all the way, so as to also contribute to this program today. Thank you so much,
you're welcome,
Comrade, for being a part of the program. All right, and that's how far we go on the show today. Thank you so much for your time on the program. Don't forget, the focus of this program was against a child as a breadwinner. It's something out of place for a child to be the breadwinner in the family. Your child should not be the breadwinner. You as a father, you as a mother should be the breadwinner of your family. You have to collaborate with your spouse and ensure that things are on the table for the children, and not the children being the breadwinner in the family while you sleep, or while you lazy, or while you walk away from your responsibility. Please, let's make our society a very beautiful place. Let's make it a healthy place. Make your family your priority, as a man, as a woman, as children, and everything would actually be beautiful. You know, a successful society starts from home.
Yes.
When the home is in disarray, the society will also suffer the effects, the ripple effect of what the home has dished out. Thank you so much for your time today. I remain your anchor, Dora Okobasi. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, follow our Facebook page, Dora and them on Facebook, and watch the program on NTA page on Facebook every Saturday by 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Thank you, as I leave the stage now, and we look forward to having you next episode. Thank you.